Not too tough, I woke up to the sound of lawn worker, and it reminded me of the good old days in America when people used to mow their lawns on Saturday morning. It felt good. I'm a homeowner. This is what America's all about. Home ownership and taking care of your property. The sound of the lawnmower is so American that I start my day by posting about it on Instagram. I thought to myself, what else I gotta do today? And it didn't hit me. There was a mouse in the house, in the kitchen. How did it get there? So I started searching the kitchen, the pantry, the cabinets, looking for little droppings. I pulled out the cabinets next to the sink. Dang it. Found some mouse droppings. I traced it back to the dishwasher hose. It cut through the cabinet towards the sink. Since this is a raised foundation, most of the plumbing has to cut through the floor. And I had to find a way to plug up all the holes in there. So I put on my work clothes, turned my favorite podcast and went to Home Depot, like a good American, to pick up 2 cans of the Kraken Fail. I drove home and started crawling under the crawl space with 2 flashlights, one in my hand, slowly crawling under, watching out for any mouse. I was filling up the gaps where there were plumbing and electric wires. I crawled towards the bathrooms, sealed the holes there, and continued until I reached the kitchen area where the mouse was at. There was a large hole. I started filling up the Kraken Fill, filled up the whole can. I felt accomplished, like a true grown-up. As I crawled the whole perimeter, When I first bought the house, there was a home inspection. The report said there was a sign of termites. So I did a full crawl around to check if there was any termite tunnels. You see, that's where the foundation's to the ground. Fortunately, I found no visible sign of termites. My home crawl mission was successful. Only got some foam in my hair, which, took me 30 minutes to pick out, and I was covered with dust. As a homeowner, there's always something that needs to be fixed. The tub was clogged as well. So I had to bring out the snake, spend another 25 minutes clearing out the hair. I felt so productive that day. I decided to post more on Instagram to show that I'm such a hard-working person. It's funny how we post on social media for our family, high school friends, college friends, people we barely met, and we only show the good side. As the day was getting late, it was around 4 p.m. I already skipped lunch because I was too tired to cook. I was going to treat myself to a burrito. I've been telling all my friends and family about this burrito shop across the street. I took out my phone on Instagram, showing them the line. I was so hungry, and I wanted to order a super burrito with everything inside, plus a side of chip and salsa. I was living it up. Probably just the 18th person in line. That's when the phone rang. Who's calling me? Sometimes, people don't pick up. I was gonna pick up. I hesitated a little. But when I saw my neighbor was calling, like, Rick's calling. I decided to just pick up. Like, yo, Rick, what's up? I heard him, help, I need your come quick, now hurry. I couldn't really hear him clearly. I asked him, what's going on? He said, so jump the fence. I need your help. Come now. Come now. I was puzzled. I was like confused. What is he talking about? Is this some kind of joke? Paused for a minute, and he said, and I said, what's going on? He said, I need to come over. Just jump the fence. I don't really remember what was actually said during that moment. I stood there, I paused, I was like, wait, what the heck's going on? I was deciding, like, wait, do I get out of line? Is he joking with me? If I get out of this line, I gotta get back in this long ass line again. He said, come now. I stood there, looked back to the house, and I said, all right, I'm coming. I started a slow jog going through the parking lot, and I kept hearing, are you coming on the phone? I told him, I'm running. I'll be there soon. I started running to his house, wondering if he was joking or serious, but I ran faster. Crossing the street, dodging the cars. Normally it would be been like a 10 to 15 minute walk, so I'm guessing it was like a minute or 2 minute run back. Getting down the street, I turned the corner, and he said, "Are you almost here?" I told him, "I'm almost here." Tell me, just jump the fence, just jump the fence, hurry, As I got to the driveway, that's when it got real. When I arrived to his house, I saw, Stalking Strike. His girlfriend was hanging from a noose, and he was struggling to hold her up. I immediately jumped over the fence, and I tried to help. I asked him, "You got a knife to cut the rope?" He said, I don't have one. You can't cut it. It's a power cord. It's too hard." It was a tense moment. My thoughts was running fast. Well, what I need to do? He told me to hold her up while he was trying to unloosen the knot. I had to think fast. She was gasping for air. I was like, okay, let me check. I checked the noose to see how tight it was. I thought there was still room, so she still somewhat is breathing. I thought. Rick was a little blue. Rick was sweating, panicking, shaking. He was struggling to loosen up. I never seen him like this before. I wasn't freaking out yet, so I told him, "Let me do it. Just hold her." I told him, "Just hold her." I looked at the tangled noose and I started loosening the knot. It was hard pulling the electrical cord apart, but with the love of God, I finally got it loose. Finally we managed to get her down. I told her, put her on her side, and then I called 911. I was relaying information back and forth, trying to assist. I felt like an eternity, me running back and forth, jumping the fence, looking out for the paramedics, talking to the operator. But eventually, the paramedics arrived, and it took over the situation. It was a surreal and intense experience. I couldn't believe what just happened. But I knew she was gonna be okay. Before she left, she was breathing, moaning. Afterwards, Rick was, he was shaking. I spent some time with him, talking about what happened, what's going on with Rick, situation, him and her in the last month. We sat there on his porch, him dripping wet with sweat. I'm still in shock what just happened. He recently lost his job, because he left his job between shift and he thought she might commit suicide. Right then, his boss called, and then later soon I left. The next day he called and he said, "You were the first person I thought of calling. I knew you were going to be there faster than the fastest person to get here. You saved her life. You saved her life." Things could have been a lot different. That week, I was trying to set up a date on that weekend, but it didn't work out. What if I didn't pick up the phone? I was pretty hungry. I was going to treat myself to a huge burrito and chip and salsa. It got me thinking, what's important in life? For the last 3 months, off and on, I was trying to figure it out. I only told 2 people about this, but since it's Suicide Prevention Week, I wanted to say that sometimes just picking up the phone is all you really need to do, and it can make a difference.